Welcome to the Sister Street Show with Mary Nunnally and Sharon Aguirre, a docu-series, interactive show, and virtual playground where we explore topics around entrepreneurship, online and in-person events, and the games that can be played with all of it. Follow a series or subscribe to the
All
quest.
right, aloha and welcome back, Sister Street Show. We are here, Sharon Otaguro and Mary Nunley, your street sisters. And we have an exciting recap. Hopefully, you've been enjoying the conversations around all the nurture sequence, all the nurture emails with Kimberly Whitecamp. But we wanted to take just a few moments to give you a couple of key takeaways and just wrap up this series. So, Mary, welcome back.
Sharon, thank you. It is so good to be here. I'm feeling a little spacey today, so hence my outer space background. And then the reason I said I'm feeling a little spacey is that when we met with Kimberly and she started talking about nurture sequences and email open rates, I was just like, what are you, an astronaut? You're talking about all this stuff. I'm not a rocket scientist. Oh my gosh. But the way that she broke it down really helped to clarify for me like what that expectation is and what you should include. And
Yeah,
so
she sort of took it, right? She took it into the expert zone where I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with it, but she did bring it back home. And she really made me feel better because she said, some of those statistics aren't real nowadays,
yes.
right? That it's like you can't, they're good gauges, but at the same time, don't focus on the gauges so much as understanding what your goal is and then how to achieve it.
Yes, and it just goes back to what we've been talking about throughout our episodes is rather than looking at an out of the ordinary number, sticking with my space team, figure out what it is you're trying to achieve. So, does open rate really help you achieve your goals? If it doesn't, then maybe that's not the statistic that you need to focus on. If your goal is increase replies or engagement from your audience, well, that's what you should be looking at. If your goal is to sell something, look at did you sell it? Ask your audience to give you some feedback. One of the things that really stood out for me was when she said, when you're writing your emails, remember that you're writing to another person. You're not writing this like sales pitch email. You're truly having a conversation and writing to another person. And when you think about your nurture sequence, think about it. And this is not what Kimberly said, but this is what I took away from it. Think about it as if you've just met somebody for the first time. You're at a party, you're in a Zoom meeting, whatever, and you've reached out and you're like, hey, I'd really like to learn a little bit more about you. Can we continue this conversation? And with your nurture sequence emails, that's the same thing you're doing. Somebody has reached out and said, hey, there's something you said or something I read that makes me want to continue the conversation. And so they've agreed to be on your email list. And now you want to show them that you're a real person. It's not like go in for that quick sale right away. It's here's who I am. Here's what I like. Here's what you can expect from me. So Sharon, did I I mean, those are the key takeaways for me. What about for you?
Yeah, I like that it what you said were the key points that I took away as well. I mean, it's you get into this imposter syndrome, right? That the emails have to be Oxford Dictionary and you have to be proper in your spelling and everything. And it's not. It's about connecting with your audience. It's knowing who your audience is. And you really hit it on the head when you said know what your goals are. And she shared her personal stories of how she connected, but also that example where, it's just having those couple more people on your list, right? That she shared her client was she just wanted a few more people each week. She didn't want 60,000 people on her email list. And so absolutely, those are the keys. Kimberly also shared when it's the right time to bring on an expert, right? And
Yes.
knowing again what your goals are, that then the expert can come and bring in that concept clearly for you so that you're on track, that you're staying focused, that you know what success looks like. That it's not about when you're bringing an expert copywriter on the promise of quote unquote sales or whatnot, but that you know what you're trying to achieve. And so whether it's creating your brand, whether it's selling your next event or summit, knowing what success is, that was a key for me is, okay, how can you define it so that you can explain it? It's a
Yes.
challenge, right? It's that clarity piece. And we talked about clarity in our previous episodes. It's a challenge to know what success means, but that's why you want to work on it, number one, and then partner with experts to say, okay, do they understand when you say what success looks like? Do they know how to achieve it? If not, go back to the drawing board, get clearer on your success, right?
Yes, and it's like, what does success look like for me? And it's not going to be the same. So while Sharon and I are street sisters together, her goals and my goals for our individual businesses are very different. And so my goal might be to have a email list of 150 people. That's a solid list that continually comes back to purchase the service that we offer. Sharon's goal with summits might be, oh, I need to have a list of 2,000 people because summits don't take place as often. So I need a wider base. So if I were to compare my list to Sharon's list, it'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible failure. I've only got 50 people, but my goal for my list is very different. And so knowing that and don't have comparitis, and I think that's another thing that came out in the past episodes is don't compare yourself to anybody else. I like to use the example when my son was playing tennis. Our thing was always better your best. Don't worry about what the other players are doing. Don't worry about their rankings. Don't worry about their points. Better your best. If the last time you went out in the second round, make it a goal to not get, knocked out until the third round. And so then he was competing against himself. So the score on the scoreboard didn't matter as much because he had very specific things he was trying to accomplish. And I think that's a key takeaway for all of us as entrepreneurs is don't compare yourself to the big name marketers. Don't compare yourself to your business partners. Compare yourself to where you've been to see how far you've come.
Yeah, and I think you'll see, Mary hit it on the head, but I think you'll see, or on the ball, but you'll see that theme come up, right? Don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to your best and set your own goals with your North Star, your clarity, and how that's going to guide you. I think it was just so great that we started off with that nurture sequence piece, and just to reiterate, right? Nurture sequence is how you're engaging your audience, and that is what Mary and I are here to do, is engage you, show you how to engage others. Engagement and optimization are some of the things that we really care about for how you do your business and how you do your life. So we'll hope you see that. Nurture emails or nurture sequences are one vehicle, but we also want you to think broad to understand that everything we do is applicable in multiple areas of your life, right? That you want to make sure that the communication you have for whoever your audience is, whether your audience at the time is your family, whether your audience is your business partner, whether your audience is your boss, or whether your audience is the people that you're trying to sell to, that you're clear in your communication, that you're speaking in your authentic voice, that you understand what your goal is for success of any conversation, right? All of these things are some of the principles that Kimberly taught us, but that you can apply in any aspect of what you're doing.
So true, Sharon. It's like instead of just thinking about, oh, this is the business part of my life, this is the not business part of my life, the skills apply across the board. And changing topics just slightly because we are circling around outer space, and so we've got to change direction periodically to get to where we're going. One of the promises that Sharon and I made to you at the very beginning in our first episodes was that this was going to be an audience participation experience, and we are now at the point where we are asking you, our loyal watchers, to help us with that audience participation. So Sharon, why don't you tell them what you're cooking up for the follow-up to these episodes?
Absolutely. So Mary mentioned, and we started off when we were going through the different series with what is nurture sequence. And we want your participation. We want your feedback. And so we want you to sign up. We want you to sign up for our Sister Street subscription, our email. And from there, you'll get to see how we hope to nurture you. Please give us feedback. Hopefully, you'll get a lot of value from that. And we invite you to copy and redo, right? Rinse and repeat what we're doing if it helps you. There is a science and a process that's behind how we're doing our nurture sequence that we learned from some of our gurus and our experts. And so there is a cadence. There are times where you want to add value. There are key takeaways from the different series episodes and lessons that we'll be sharing. All of those things are things that you should do when you're nurturing your audience so that the information that's given is repeated, so that it's remembered, that it's added value to with our insights and our different gifts and takeaways, and that you continue to show that you care about your audience by giving them the value of all the wisdom that you've gained or want to share. And so, of course, as you know, this is a evolution for us. So we may make mistakes, but we are trying to follow a system that we believe is good for our business. And we hope that you, number one, agree, and number two, tell us when we're off base, and number three, gain the value that we're looking to share with all of you. So we have a lot of goodies in those emails to come. And that is how we show, share, and build our ohana and include you in the process, because that is really, really important to us.
And I am so excited to see how this evolves. And I really want to put that emphasis on audience participation as well, because we're all learning from each other. And feedback is a gift. And so the feedback you provide us will help us grow. And your feedback may be featured in one of the emails as well. Like, reader from San Diego asked this question. And so we would get your permission to use your name if that was the case, or we would just do kind of a generic, this reader asked this question. And we might even bring in some of our experts to help with this. So if you're interested in joining the adventure and playing along, if you go to sisterstreet.show, there is a place there where you can sign up for our newsletter. We will provide as much value as possible. We would love for you to share the Sister Street Show with your friends and acquaintances. And our goal is to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year on our YouTube channel. So we really appreciate if you would help us do that. Sharon, any last words of wisdom? I know we said this one was going to be kind of a short, fun one because we've got something exciting next episode.
Yeah, short and sweet. And we're just so happy that you're part of this journey with us. Please learn and grow with us. And yes, we want you on the show. So please sign up so that you give us your feedback. We bring you on. And once we know all the expertise that you have to bring, that is also able to share with our audience in the future. So we'll look forward to seeing you on the list and all your feedback to come. And we look forward to the next series as well. We started off with the nurturing. And as we nurture you, as you see how to build your audience, you need to hook them. You need to hook them with the pieces that you're giving, which are the most value and that focus on the biggest pain that your audience might have. So Mary, why don't you introduce, because she is your dear friend as well, what's coming up?
Awesome. So next episode, we sit down and chat with Shereese Alexander, who not only is a joint venture expert, but she is a lead magnet expert. And so we're going to take some time, break apart what a lead magnet is, why a lead magnet is important for your business, why you shouldn't use the term lead magnet outside of the business world, because most people have no idea what you're talking about. And then we're going to follow it up with a couple of episodes where Sharon and I deep dive and dissect lead magnets even further and give you some ideas on how to make your lead magnets really pop and stand out from the crowd.
So we'll see you again soon. Lots of exciting things to come. We taught you how to nurture because we brought our friend who is an expert on it. We will teach you how to stay hooked with them and hook new audience with their lead magnets, expert term. And then we have some fun things as we're bringing in eventing and the holidays. So we'll see you again soon.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
We look forward to having you tune in next week for the rest of the conversation. Thanks for listening to the Sister Street Show with Mary Nunley and Sharon Adagiro. To learn more about the topics discussed today, visit sisterstreet.show.